What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today, and today I have a very exciting video for you all. Today, the airports around the Southern Plains Airport Series is going to take us out on a little field trip out to West Texas for our next offering of the series. Today, we're at the Rick Husband Amarillo International Airport. Located in Amarillo, this airport has been open for a very long time and has quite a rich history in addition to some pretty solid services here, as you can see with these 6 gates that we have presented in front of us. So I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's field trip, and without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. So once again, welcome to the Rick Husband Amarillo International Airport. So this is located 10 miles east here, or 6 miles east rather, of the Amarillo downtown city. So this airport actually opened up, beginning with our history here, on April 27th of 1918 was the first record of landing when 2 Army Signal crop planes landed, which is really cool. So this airport really does have a rich history. In 1929, Western Airlines started flying a coast-to-coast service, and some of the cities that you could fly to on that service from Amarillo includes Wichita, Kansas City, Albuquerque, and Los Angeles. So that's very cool to note. Some various aircraft that flew here between Western, TWA, and a couple of different carriers includes the Ford Trimotor, the DC-2, DC-3, the Constellation flew here, Boeing 707, Boeing 727, Convair 880, and so many more, which was really cool. The Deregulation Act completely changed up the airport significantly. American Airlines began service here in 1981, which is really cool. TWA cut their service in 1982, so another very interesting note there as well. Other carriers that served here as well include Southern Air Transport, Braniff Airways, Eastern Airlines, and Pioneer Airlines, and there's a long list, so bear with me. Continental Airlines, Central Airlines, Frontier Airlines, Trans-Texas Airways, which will come up a bunch going forward, so stay on the lookout for them. They had DC-3, Convair 240, Convair 600, DC-910, DC-930. Southwest's been serving here. They are one of their remaining carriers since 1975. They've done a really good job. They did have service to Albuquerque and Phoenix. Those have since been terminated, which is unfortunate. American returned officially in 1981. They flew 727s here along with MD-80s, even some Fokker 100s. They've also flown American Eagle here since the 1990s on various aircraft, which is pretty interesting. Continental is the origin of the Houston service. That is still here with United. United also started in 1986 service to Denver, and that's how they got here as well. Delta also had service here between Dallas, Fort Worth, and Memphis in the 2000s. Both those ended up not making it, so that's unfortunate. Aspen Airways also had service here, which was really interesting, using the Convair 580, which is really interesting, and even got up to the BAE 146, which is quite interesting. And the most recent, most interesting carrier, I would argue, is Via Air. We talked about them previously in Tulsa updates. They had their Austin service in 2018 and 2019. The airports also went through a couple of name changes and different iterations of that. So it was called the Amarillo Air Terminal for a period, and then it was called the Amarillo Field and Amarillo Army Park from 1942 to 1946, and was also called until 1968 from 1951 the Amarillo Air Force Base. So overall, it has a really rich history. I would completely recommend checking it out. Also, there was visits by the NASA Shuttle Center aircraft due to the long runway in July of 2007, which is really cool. And also back again in 2009, the airport was actually featured, I believe, in let's see here. I thought I saw something about a film here. That is incorrect. I apologize. But nevertheless, still so cool to see all the various operations here at Amarillo, and certainly has a very rich history, to say the least. So let's talk about the modern day air service here at the Amarillo Airport. Let me pull back the board here so you can kind of get a better look here at the aircraft in really good light. Okay, so American Airlines utilizes gates 2 and 3. I don't know what happened to gate 1, but gates 2 and 3 are right here. American Airlines has service to Dallas Fort Worth. This is operated several times a day. United Airlines utilizes gates 4 and 5. They have services to Denver and Houston, as previously mentioned, the aforementioned details. And the gates 6 and 7, Southwest Airlines has the most destinations out of the 3 carriers. Southwest Airlines operates service to Austin, Texas, Dallas, Texas, Denver, Colorado, Houston, Texas on Sundays only, which is really interesting. It bounces back. There's a couple of Saturdays, but for the most part, it's only on Sundays, which is really, really, really interesting. Southwest has some very interesting services that we'll get to cover in these upcoming airport updates. That is one of them. And they also have service to Las Vegas on a daily basis, so that's really cool. And the American 777, I know it's the big elephant in the room. Pretty much, long story short, it's for the paint shop. We'll talk about it more in a bit, but I couldn't help but not having it in here to start today's airport update. So yeah, overall, looking really great here at the Amarillo Airport. I'm excited to cover it and see what we have going on here. So let's go ahead and see what it looks like here in 2023. So let's go ahead and get started, everybody. We're going to start right here at gate 2. Again, I don't know what happened to gate number 1, but it's just absent. Right here at gate number 2, we have this American Eagle Embraer ERJ-175 on the behalf of Envoy Air. This aircraft's coming in from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport as American Airlines Flight 3954. This aircraft was scheduled to arrive in at 8:20 p.m., but ends up arriving in at 8:37 p.m., good for a 59-minute flight time. So a pretty short and condensed flight there, but certainly a very important one to get all those travelers to where they're trying to go. So glad we have some competition too with the service to Dallas Love on Southwest, so that's absolutely fantastic. Here at gate number 3, the only legacy mainline carrier here to operate mainline service is American Airlines. It depends on the day, but usually they do have one mainline service typically per day. And here we have this Airbus A319-115 as the example. Is American Airlines Flight 2538. This coming in from Dallas-Fort Worth once again. This aircraft was scheduled to arrive in at 9:50 a.m., but ends up arriving in at 9:21 a.m., good for a 53-minute flight time. So typically these flights are pretty early considering that it's a really short flight. So I think that's pretty cool, and certainly glad to see it right there here at Amarillo. Okay, so here at gate number 4, kicking off our United Airlines ops. Again, United integrated the Houston service from Continental, and they have had the Denver service for almost 40 years at this point, which is absolutely awesome. So starting off right here at gate number 4, we have this United Express CRJ-200. This is coming in for SkyWest is United Airlines Flight 5368 in from the Houston George Bush Intercontinental Airport. This aircraft was scheduled to arrive in at 9:51 p.m., but ends up arriving in at 9:31 p.m., good for an hour and 27-minute flight. So not particularly the sharpest tool in the shed with the aircraft types that they use here. I'm sure that the 175 and 145s have came in here at some point. It's just probably just the time of year when we're pulling this from. So it's all good. It happens to the best of us. So what can you do besides continue to trust the process? And at some point it will improve. So that's what we'd love to see. What's going to be pretty rough here is what we're about to talk about, not particularly the aircraft or anything particular, but just arriving in right here. I hate that I'm about to read this off, but we have this United Express CRJ-200 on the behalf of SkyWest once again. This aircraft's coming in from Denver, Colorado. This aircraft is operating United Airlines Flight 4719. This aircraft was scheduled to arrive in at 8:31 p.m. here on this Sunday that I'm filming this, but this ended up arriving in on Monday morning at 1:07 a.m. So a huge delay when the passengers were thinking they were going to get in here at 8:31. Feel really bad for these passengers. That's a really rough arrival time, very late. The flight took 1 hour to complete, but the fact that I got delayed that long is really unfortunate, and I certainly feel for all of our passengers on that flight. So sorry to each and every one of you. I'm assuming it was weather related. I'm not sure, but around this time it was snowing in Denver, so that's my best guess. But who knows? Really sad though, and apologies to our Denver customers, but hopefully the good news was that it wasn't outbounded. They all would have missed their connecting flights. So that is the good news there. I'll get a better angle here in a second, but here's our first Southwest Airlines aircraft of the day. This is a Boeing 737 MAX 8. This is operating the service in from the Austin Bertram International Airport, AUS. This aircraft was scheduled to arrive, or this is Southwest WN3814. This is scheduled to arrive in at 10:15 p.m., but unfortunately is going to be another victim of the delay card, arriving in right now at 11:24 p.m. This aircraft completed the flight in 1 hour and 6 minutes, and again, another unfortunate, very delayed flight. I don't know what it was with those two services, but they did not have their best day on this particular offering. It's very unfortunate to see, but again, what can you do about it? So nevertheless, again, this aircraft is coming in from Austin, and again, luckily it wasn't on the outbound, or that would have been a major conflict. So glad to see that it's coming in here at a reasonable time in this particular instance. And here over here, gate number 7, I think this is probably the coolest gate on the airport. I don't know why, but the bridge goes out like that and not straight off. So I think that's pretty cool. I know it's a small detail, but what can you do? Currently right here, gate number 7, we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700. This aircraft's coming in from the Dallas Love Field Airport as WN1683. This aircraft was scheduled to arrive in at 11:25 p.m., but ends up arriving in just 15 minutes behind, so much better than the other two delays, as at 11:40 p.m. This aircraft took 57 minutes to complete the flight, and again, the workhorse, just like that service to Dallas. Nice to have some competition there. I think that's really, really good here for the airport, and certainly what we need. So that's absolutely fantastic, and how can you deny the effort? I mean, it's really cool to see that. So really nice right there, to say the very least. Okay, I am currently trying to find this aircraft. So I saw this on the flight right before I was getting ready to make the update, and I jumped because I was so excited to get the feature of really cool aircraft. And this is what you're going to see around the airports around Southern Plains. Is there's a bunch of airports, and we'll get to see quite a bit of this, especially going into the immediate future, with a bunch of these airports have some really interesting operations, and this is included. So yes, this is an American Airlines Boeing 777-200ER. Really crazy after seeing all of those narrow body airplanes. This aircraft's coming in from the Charlotte Dulles International Airport. This aircraft is scheduled to arrive in at 1:59 p.m. and check the on-screen graphic for the actual arrival time and the flight time. This is coming in the next day, so I'm not sure exactly. So nevertheless, really cool to see this. So Amarillo has a paint shop. I believe United uses it quite a bit, American uses it quite a bit, and so on. So it's really cool to see these various carriers utilizing the paint shop here to its fullest potential. And that's certainly one of the coolest parts about Amarillo plane spotting is you can see all these various planes coming in, this one included. So I believe there's also maintenance here, so that's absolutely fantastic. So really cool to see those various elements in this 777, certainly adding some nice character here for today's airport update. So we absolutely love to see that, and that is super, super cool. Arriving in right here, this is going to be substituting for CJ3 Plus. This is going to be a private Cessna 525B Citation 3. CJ3 Plus. This aircraft is currently arriving in from the Lexington airport. This aircraft was scheduled to arrive in at 11:11 a.m., but this aircraft ends up arriving in at 11:20 a.m. So a nice long 3-hour flight time, but that's the way to do it in style with the Cessna Citation CJ. I think those are really cool private jets. So cool to get that one in here, coming in from Lexington, and now he's going to be heading off here in a bit to wherever he may be going next. And last but certainly not least, I want to throw in one more Southwest flight to kind of give us a good grasp here of what they have. And we're not going to be getting very many Denver flights going into the immediate future, so that's why I chose to feature this one. So currently right here we have the Southwest Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8. This aircraft is currently going to be conducting a flight out to Denver today. This aircraft was scheduled to depart at 2:36 p.m. and this aircraft departs a little bit late, or sorry, 2:20 p.m. and departs a little bit late at 2:36 p.m. Flight took an hour to complete, so it arrived in just right on time there into Denver. So again, Southwest has their services to Houston on Sundays as well. So I apologize I didn't get really a chance to feature that in here. I didn't want to just overload you. We'll just say that it came in from Houston. It probably actually did. So this aircraft's coming in from Houston. I'll give you some flight information, so you know what we're doing here. So this aircraft's coming in from Houston. It actually did. How funny is that? So this aircraft's coming in as WN2793 in from the Houston Hobby Airport. This aircraft was scheduled to arrive in at 2:55 p.m., but ends up arriving at 2:44 p.m. After an hour and 25-minute flight. So Houston again, Sunday only. I don't know what that's about, but it's kind of cool. And then you have our flight on, it would make sense if there was like a Saturday outbound and a Sunday inbound, but it's not. It's all on Sunday, which is really weird. And then you have the Denver flight and also Las Vegas too, which is one of the cool ones. I tried to replicate it all. I wanted to put just those planes in there, but to keep it kind of consistent with the overnight theme, which is kind of what we're showing there, I decided to do the planes that were at the gate docked up simultaneously. And I tried to keep it all realistic. It's kind of hard, but you can say this aircraft's going on Las Vegas after Denver or something to get the full gist, but I didn't want to just completely overload it. But do know that there's service to Dallas, Austin, Las Vegas, Houston, and Denver here out at Amarillo, which makes Southwest the largest player by a long shot here at Amarillo, and they do a really good job with their operations. And just like that, that'll do for the Rick Husband Amarillo International Airport. Really hope that you enjoyed this airport. Yes, it's a little bit smaller and we'll have some airports like this. In fact, in the next update, we'll really have a cool video. I have a really good plan for that. It was really unintentional, but I just started doing a bunch of research and then it just turned into what you'll see in the next update. So stay on the lookout for that. Your only hint is that we will be staying in the state of Texas and it won't be like the last two Southern Plains airport updates. So I hope each and every one of you are excited for it. But Amarillo, really cool airport. We'll certainly be coming back out here to check out its sister in the future with Lubbock, as they have quite a few cool flights, including more American mainline. It's kind of similar, it's kind of not. They have some cool pieces to the puzzle that will make it a very fun update. So I hope you're looking forward to that one too. But nevertheless, that'll do for Amarillo, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you all enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust process. Do you love and love you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.